Welcome to Dadograms. I once owned a condo where one letter in the mail cost me $11,000. No warning, no vote, just the words, pay up. That's when I learned something that every homeowner eventually discovers. Rules and who enforces them can help make you rich, but they can also help make you poor. We've all heard horror stories about HOAs, homeowners associations. Things like HOAs are a dictatorship. They fine you for leaving your trash cans out at the road, or they'll tell you what color you can paint your house, or even tell you where you can park. But here's the truth most people miss. Those same rules everyone loves to hate are often the very reasons some neighborhoods stay beautiful and maintain their value, while others become garbage dumps and a huge economic loss to those who live there. By the end of this Dadogram, you'll know how to tell the difference between a good HOA that protects your investment and a bad one that can destroy it. I'm Jason Garrett, a Navy pilot turned real estate investor. I own condos, rental homes, apartment buildings, some with HOAs and some without. And I've seen firsthand what happens when you ignore the fine print. Because whether you realize it or not, when you buy into a condo or a neighborhood, you're also buying into its culture, its standards, its discipline. And all of that matters to your bottom line, to the wealth you'll build by owning your own home or that you'll lose by owning your own home. So pay attention and protect your net worth. Here we go. When people say, I'd never live in an HOA, what they usually mean is that they don't want anyone telling them what to do. And I get that. People don't like a bunch of rules that tell them how to live. Nobody likes being told to bring their trash cans in or repaint their mailbox or to mow their yard. But here's the problem. Your freedom ends where your neighbor's begins. Take a look at this video. I'm standing in the middle of a street near where I live. Nice houses, fairly new, brick, really pretty nice. But there's no HOA here. And look what the neighbor did. Without structure, your neighbor has freedom to park a boat or two in the yard. These people even laid out a used water heater. There's a jet ski and all kinds of garbage. Without an HOA, they can do this and more. They could paint the house neon pink, or build a metal shed, or decorate their lawn with used toilets. It happens. Freedom without structure always sounds great until it's your neighbor exercising it. Folks, rules don't exist to kill freedom. They exist to make a place livable. Because without shared standards, neighborhoods decay quietly, yard by yard, until you wake up and realize your investment has become a dump. And in case you don't realize it, this guy's property values are cut nearly in half from what they otherwise could have been because of all the junk in his yard. And every neighbor within eyesight of this disaster also has their property values significantly decreased. Why? Because it shows the slummy character of the people who live in that neighborhood. That's harsh, but it's truth, and you need to know it. So it seems an HOA would be a good thing in this neighborhood, right? Well, maybe. But not all HOAs are good either. On the other extreme, you've got HOAs that do exist, but are managed by people obsessed with keeping dues low. We own a condo in Pensacola, and that's exactly this kind of place. Everyone loved the low monthly fee until the concrete balconies started cracking and had to be replaced. Engineers came out, gave the report, and the total repair bill was massive. And the HOA didn't have reserves, so they did what poorly managed boards always do. They issued a special assessment. Every owner, including us, got hit with an $11,000 bill. No vote, no time to prepare, just a letter that said, pay up. It hurt, and it's fair warning for anyone buying into a condo. If the dues haven't gone up in years, it's not because they're efficient. It's because they're behind. Remember, an HOA for a condo takes care of the outside of the buildings, like the roofs, the balconies, the siding, gutters, not to mention the pools, sidewalks, and lawn care even. The cost to maintain and replace all of those things goes up with inflation. So if your HOA isn't keeping pace, you're living on borrowed time. Now contrast that with a well-run HOA. Not expensive, not intrusive, but disciplined. The neighborhood I live in nails it perfectly. Dues are a whopping $150 a year. Not a month, a year. That's less than most people spend in Starbucks in a month. And for that, they maintain the entrance, mow the shared spaces, and enforce architectural standards to keep everything looking consistent and cared for. You can feel the pride when you drive through. The lawns are cut, the colors match, and the roofs don't look like patchwork quilts. But drive half a mile down the road to the neighborhood without an HOA. Same builder, same decade, same square footage. You'll see boats, weeds, broken shutters, and colors that belong in a crayon box but not on houses. And when you check Zillow, the difference is undeniable. The HOA homes are worth roughly 1/3 more. Same location, different discipline. While some may not like them, rules can be good. They don't reduce value, they preserve it. So if you're looking to buy a home, find out if there's an HOA you are buying into. That means you have to do some homework. Ask to see their financials. And yes, you do have every right to ask them if you're actually looking to buy into that community. And check the reserves. Make sure they have money saved away for eventual large costs. They should be at least 70% funded. And if not, ask why. Look at whether dues have increased with inflation. If they've stayed flat for years, that's a problem. And if they aren't storing up reserves for repairs, you better, because it's just a matter of time before a special assessment comes to you. And ask them about special assessments. When was the last one that happened? And why? And if you're in a condo-heavy state like Florida, review the estoppel certificate. That document tells what you will owe, what they owe, and what liabilities are hidden under the rug. This isn't paranoia. This is aviation-style pre-flight. Pilots don't take off without pre-flighting the aircraft. That means they inspect it. And you shouldn't buy a property without checking the HOA. That's part of your inspection. And one final bit of advice. Numbers tell one story, but the culture tells the rest. Before you ever write an offer anywhere, drive through the neighborhood at different times. Mornings and evenings on the weekdays, drive through them on the weekends. Look for signs of pride or neglect. Are you seeing folks mowing their yards, raking leaves, trimming hedges? That's good. Or do you see cars on lawns, boats in driveways, and patchy roofs? Those aren't aesthetic problems. They're cultural ones. Every neighborhood has a moral code, whether written or not. If nobody speaks up when standards slip, the whole community slides down with them. A good HOA isn't about control, it's about care. It keeps the standards that protect your wealth and your peace of mind. While a bad HOA, or no HOA at all, invites chaos, and chaos will cost you money. So before you buy, find out if there's an HOA and what they're responsible for. And then see if they're maintaining those standards. If they aren't, walk away. There's other places to buy. Trust me. But if they are, if they're keeping up with those standards and you can live with those rules, it's a win for you and your neighborhood. I'm Jason McGarrett, and this has been your Dadogram.